he needs to cook for himself. My job is to make sure that my kids are fed. I don't need to feed a grown-ass man. He could feed himself. I don't care if you've been working 12-hour shifts, 16-hour shifts, you're still gonna go ahead and cook for yourself. Same goes for my stepson. I'm not gonna cook for you. You're not my child. My kids are my family. My husband is family just by a piece of paper. I will not cook for a grown-ass man. If I'm making dinner, you're lucky if you eat leftovers. Or you could just starve. So my husband said if I'm gonna keep excluding my stepchild from gifts, from doing certain things, that he is no longer going to be paying for my children. So I have 7 kids, and out of my 7 kids, only 2 belong to my husband. We're supposed to be going on vacation soon, and now my husband is telling me that 5 of my children will not get to go on vacation because they are not his child. He said that it's only fair since I keep excluding my stepson, which is his child. He then tells me that if I want the rest of my 5 kids to go, that I need to pay for their ticket, I need to go half on the hotel room, and that any food or anything that they want while we're on the trip would have to come out of my pocket because he is only going to take care of his son and the 2 kids that me and him have together. And then he has the audacity to say that if I keep excluding my stepson, that he's just simply gonna give me an invoice from everything that he's paid since day 1 for my kids, and that he's gonna make me pay everything back. And no one forced you to pay for my kids. No one forced you to pay for kids that aren't yours. So I ain't paying a dime back. My husband is mad at me because he walked in and he saw that I'm making breakfast, and I told him that this was for me and my daughter, and that if he wanted some, he needed to cook for himself. I told him I was not going out of my way to make breakfast for him. This is only for me and my daughter. Like, if you're that hungry, there's a McDonald's down the street.
Wow.
Or there's eggs in the fridge and there's bacon, and you can make it yourself. He's acting like this not cooking for him thing is brand new. I gave him a list of things that I don't do the day that we got married, and he was okay with it. So what's the problem now? I told him, if you don't want to cook, you could wait and see if there's any leftovers. If there's leftovers, go ahead and eat. If there's no leftovers, then I'm sorry. You're going to have to figure it out. But I am not going to cook for you. It's not my job to cook for you. I'm sorry. And then on top of that, I'm doing scrambled eggs. He wants a fried egg. No, I'm sorry.
How dare he?
That's too much work for me. I'm not going to do it. Plus, he's so picky with his food that he might as well just cook it himself. So like that, he doesn't have nothing to complain about. Right now, I'm cooking steaks for me and my kids. Do you think I'm going to make one for my husband? Absolutely not. All the men over on Instagram are upset because I was in the middle of cooking breakfast and my husband wanted some, and I said no, he could make it himself. I was cooking only for me and my daughter. I'm not going to go out of my way to add in 2-3 more eggs just because you want some. So now for dinner, I'm cooking once again, obviously. I'm making steaks for me and my children, and if my husband wants some, he could go ahead and get some, put it on the stove, and cook it himself. I always only cook enough for me and my 6 kids. If anybody else wants to eat, like my husband, then he needs to make his own food. And some people are like, oh, how can you say that it's going out of your way because you're already cooking? It is going out of my way because this could be the last steak I make right now. But then I have to make another one for my husband. I could have been already sitting down eating. But no, you want me to make food for you? Absolutely not. If you are that hungry, you wouldn't mind cooking for yourself. Or if he doesn't want to cook, he's too tired to cook, he could wait and see if there's any leftovers and he could eat that. I do not care if I'm making breakfast, lunch, or dinner. If my husband walks in and tells me that he's hungry, he needs to cook for himself. I refuse to cook for him. The other day while making breakfast, my husband walks in and he's like, oh, can I have some? And I'm like, no, this is for me and my children. You could go ahead and go in the fridge, get your eggs, get your bacon, and make yourself some breakfast. My job is to make sure that my kids are fed. I don't need to feed a grown-ass man. He could feed himself. I don't care if you've been working 12-hour shifts, 16-hour shifts, you're still going to go ahead and cook for yourself. If not, there's a McDonald's right up the road. Same goes for my stepson. I'm not going to cook for you. You're not my child. And people are like, oh, but you said you cook for your family. Your husband is your family. My kids are my family. My husband is family just by a piece of paper.
Oh, wow. That man is out of his mind. He is completely out of his mind. But you know what? He letting her do it to him. That's what she's supposed to do.
Welcome to the pressure cooker.
This is a prime example of when guys first meet women, and not when they deem a woman that this is a woman that I have to have no matter what. First of all, this is woman has 5 kids. Okay, hopefully, you know, those 5 kids was before him. I would assume
Mm-hmm.
they were, if they're not his.
Mm-hmm.
But this is a perfect example, man. The woman said that she already laid down the law before they got together.
Mm-hmm.
But some of these guys, women will tell them like, dude, you're here. You do offer, you know, some things that I like, but I really, really, really don't really want to be with you like that. But I will though.
Mm-hmm.
I will, but I don't really want to be with you. So if you gonna be with me, this is what you gonna have to do.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not gonna do this. I'm not gonna cook. I'm not finna wash your clothes. You gonna have to buy for me and my kids. You gonna have to make sure the grass is cut. You gonna cook your own food. We not gonna have sex, but once every 6 months. And the dude say, okay, yeah, that's fine, baby. I'm with that. Yeah, that's okay. I don't expect you to have to cook for me. I don't expect you to wash my clothes. I can wash my own clothes. I don't expect a man's supposed to provide for a woman, so I don't expect you to have to do anything, pay no bills and none of that stuff. Just I don't. You shouldn't have to. But then now you want to get in a relationship after she done told you all that and you accept it. Now you want to get mad and everybody want to say, well, I would never have a woman like that. You probably wouldn't, maybe, but he accepted this woman from the jump. This is what he started off with, and now you can't reverse out of it. That don't make no sense. I'm on the woman's side with this. It don't make no sense because she flat out said, I told you all this before we got married. I'm not doing nothing for your children either. I'm doing it all just for mine. I'm doing all for our children and my children, and I'm not. If your children are hungry, then they just gonna have to eat what's left over. And this is what he accepted. So you can't be mad at the chick, man. You just can't be mad at him.
I'm not. I wouldn't be mad at her, but she also can't be mad when he laid down his stipulations. So what he gonna do? Now she can say that's after the marriage that you made those stipulations, but I made those stipulations on your behavior, and I have the right to change or uh rearrange things throughout life. Things change. So guess what? I've changed. I understand this is what you're not gonna do. Now you need to understand what I'm not gonna do. And if you don't like it, then you can go on.
So you gonna renege on the whole thing?
No. I'm
that's
not, I'm not
reneging.
stopping her from doing anything that she wants.
But
to
that
do.
wasn't the
she wasn't gonna
agreement.
do that. She said she wasn't gonna do any of those things. But at this time now, I'm exercising my right to say what I ain't gonna do. I'm not gonna do this, and I'm not gonna do that too. So you gotta live with it. So, like he says, I'm not going to take care of your children anymore. I'm not going to do this. I'm only going to do for my 2 children, plus my son that wasn't by you. I'm only going to do for my 3, and you need to take care of your 5.
So in other words, what you say, if we make an agreement in the beginning, it doesn't matter because I can change it anytime I want to change
because in the beginning, we can assume. We can't say that it was true, and we can't say
we're going by
false.
what she said, and she said that he accepted it.
He accepted that she didn't do those things in the beginning. So maybe at that time he didn't have kids with her, because she said she had 5 kids. They have 7 because she got 2 with him. So his kids probably came later. Now she could have been treating his son that way. We can't say how her behavior was prior.
We just going with what we got.
So with that being said, we're going to assume that his kids came after the marriage, because when he met her, she had 5 when he married her. His kids came later.
The kids now, she got with him.
Yes, came
now
later.
They could have more kids. He could have other kids. What it sounds like?
No, she said he had one other kid that was considered her stepson, because the 2 kids that they had together. So we can assume that maybe the stepson came after to live with them. He wasn't there in the beginning. Or maybe he doesn't live there. He comes over to visit the dad. But we can also assume that the 2 kids she had for him came after the marriage. So now you're doing all these things after the fact. You're being mean to my kid to my stepson, to your stepson, and not feeding him. I said you didn't have to feed me, but I'm not saying that. Why wouldn't you feed a child? You feeding your children, you should feed my child too.
Well, maybe
that
she
wasn't
made
a part
that
of the
clear.
agreement. Maybe she did, but
Maybe
she
she
didn't
made
say
that
she
clear.
did. She said, I said I'm not cooking for you.
She
So
said
not
all these things I laid down in the beginning. I'm pretty sure she's
cooking
etc.
for
etc.
him.
I'm not sure.
So let's just
Pretty
assume,
sure it's not
based on
verbatim what she was
gave,
saying.
She didn't cook for. She didn't say she wouldn't cook for his child. So we didn't have kids. So because we didn't have kids, I didn't have to distinguish what I'm gonna do.
Let's just take the kids out of it and go with she ain't cooking for him and she ain't doing those things.
And that's fine. That's fine that she's not cooking for him because he signed up for her not to cook for him. That's fine. But when you start talking about what you're not gonna do for my child, then I have a problem.
So let's take the kids out of it.
Mm-hmm.
So then you shouldn't have a problem with the rest of the stuff.
He doesn't. He doesn't have a problem.
Well, he do got a problem if he giving an invoice.
No, he said, I'll give you the invoice for your kids. Since you're not cooking for my kid, this is what's going to happen. She's not cooking for his son, which is the stepson.
All
so
that
this
stuff,
is what's
man. Listen,
happen.
all that stuff could have been avoided if you just avoided this chick in the beginning.
Oh yeah,
all together.
Most definitely.
Because now you want to get in the weeds and start going back and forth. Who owed this? Why I can't do that? All that old
anyway.
bull
This is going
jive,
to
man.
affect. If I gotta cook and you're gonna be, deciding what you're gonna do for some kids and not the other kids, man, you're not the woman I should be married to anyway. So I mean, he signed up for whatever she offered, and now that she's changing the rules down the line, or she's no longer meeting the needs that he need, or whatever she was offering isn't that important anymore, he has the right to change his mind. And if I was him, I'd be divorcing her ass.
Kevin and Caprice. Let's talk relationship.